While I only have one Brickmania figure so far, I am a Tarantino collector and have gotten basically every Quentin Tarantino movie character that has had a minifigure come out. I'm always looking to add to that collection. One of my favorite Tarantino movies is actually Inglorious Basterds. So when Brickmania released this, definitely knew I had to get it and kind of check out more of their human type characters or minifigures, since they had one of the more meme characters with the Naffle fella. With that being said, this is going to be a review for the Dastardly Fellows by Brickmania. It's part 1, so they are maybe going to release more of these characters down the line for the movie. Really enjoying the nice render of the characters in the front there. The font works. On the back, you can see how they're packaged in there with all of the parts just being in one plastic bag. I think that's a little disappointing. It would be nice to see them all kind of separate to keep them in better condition. I'd be a lot more concerned with these if you got them shipped because they would be bumping around a little bit more, but I'm interested to see how these look closer up, so let's go ahead and jump into the review. Starting out this set, we have Hugo Stiglitz, who has one of the best intros in a Tarantino movie with his very iconic name popping up. And the jacket and legs that he has, they appear to be slightly miscolored off of the actual Lego colors, being a little bit greener than the typical dark light bluish gray. You'll just see on the arm, maybe they don't have it completely printed. And you can see right there where the color sort of switches between the two different ones. So it's kind of cool to see it be a little off Candy Valley with the different colors. The face, nice and stern. Hairpiece probably fits pretty well. Maybe should be a little bit lighter than the dark brown there. Nothing going to be on the back of the head. But I think that is a decent likeness. We'll see about the rest of the characters though. And one cool thing that Brickmania does is that they'll print their guns to be a bit more accurate with some wood grain on the stock there, both sides. So that's always good to see. They use brick arms as well, so nice molded accessory there, being that gun. Get that out of the way to see the figure a bit better. And like I mentioned, the inside of the arms are going to be unprinted and show that more dark bluish gray color like the actual plastic. And nice jacket printing overall. You can see a bit of dirtiness on the undershirt, pockets, boot printing as well. Good to see that. And this is going to be UV printed, so slightly different than the style that Lego does. For the most part, UV printing is supposed to allow for more detail, and you can see a couple extra wrinkles here and there. Top of the foot is actually going to be unprinted, which is a bit off. But other than that, you get some wraparound, more wrinkles on the back and on the sides. I think actually it just has the sort of crease there, unless it is completely color changed like the arms were. And looking at the inside of the legs, looks like no printing. There are some smudges though. You can see some of the print is sort of bleeding over, so a bit unfortunate there, but sure, whatever. Something interesting to point out is that Citizen Brick was able to print the top of their shoes on their bootlegs, and there's actually more detailing on the Citizen Brick pad printed legs versus the UV ones. Actually, I might be wrong. There seems to be more detail on the black of the boots, which is just a little bit hard to see just on the naked eye, especially when I'm a bit further away from the figure. Maybe if I had it right next to my face, it'd be a little bit easier to notice. Again, just a lot of subtle detailing for the most part, other than just a completely different colored torso and arm set here. And I'm going to take out the head quick just to see what it looks like underneath. And we'll see an Easter egg on the back of the neck. This is BKM for Brickmania. So, decent figure for a Tarantino set. Let's move on to the next one. Next one's going to be Sergeant Donnie Donovitz, or the Bear Jew, featuring more really great printing where the color of the torso ends up looking a little bit differently than the brown, and the legs are going to be a little different than the dark bluish gray again. And these legs are going to feature a bit of striping to show the dress pants sort of being different style. Boots have some fur, I believe, or some other sort of fabric wrapping around. And on the back, continued striping to give it a little bit more detail. Looks like there is another little Easter egg on the inside of the leg there. I'm gonna look at it quick to see what it says. And it is just the Brickmania logo on the inside of the leg there. So cool to see printing there as well. On the bat is going to feature some nice printing, probably pretty screen accurate to the movie. Star David, some blood. Other side I think it says Bear Jew right there with some blood covering that as well. So great accessory again with some nice printing to make it screen accurate. And you definitely need that if you want to do a movie like this, so you can't go halfway. So another custom part there, also molded by Brick Arms. So good to add that to the collection as well. I'll take that out of the way to get a better look at the torso. Arms just have some creases and straps for the jacket. Raising that arm, it looks like there is a belt wrapping around. So good to see the continued detail. And there is a knife and holster on the other side. This character doesn't come with the physical knife, so bummer there. But, you know, comes with the bat, and that's probably the better accessory anyway. I think the likeness for the face is pretty decent here as well. I like the stubble going around the face. It's a nice line between detail and being over-detailed. I think it is perfect. And I am liking the eyes, pretty typical for what Lego might do themselves. Eyebrows look good next to those too. I'm not a military collector, so I don't have a lot to compare this to, but so far so good on the level of detail. For me, some Brickmania figures seem to be a little bit over the top with the different colors and creases and splotches on the torsos all over the place. So nice level of detail and shadowing on these two so far. And let's move on to the last one, being Brad Pitt's character. And Lieutenant Aldo Rain here. Another great use of the printing technique to make the torso slightly different color, being almost a cobalt blue versus the dark bluish gray again, featuring another great printed gun by Brickmania on a Brick Arms rifle. On the stock there, it says Inglorious Basterds. Roll credits, end of the movie. And I am really liking the detail all the way around this. Great wrap around all over the place, and the little details colored the way that they probably should be. So not a gun collector, but it's great to have the extra detailed accessories for an expensive figure set like this. Gun is cool, but that's not the only accessory this guy comes with. I'll just get that out of the way again so we can look at the printing a bit better in a bit. And we'll get to this knife here, which is 3D printed by Brickmania, it looks like. The tip is going to have a little bit of red on both sides to be blood, like he is getting one of his Nazi scalps, because he wants his scalps. And it's great to get two different accessories for this character. This knife is a nice print and design. I do like the shaping of it. It might be a little bit oversized, honestly. Looks more like a dagger or even a sword at this point. Handle also has some nice detailing around that, and there's like a star print on the tip of the handle. So great detailing on both accessories and really brings the value up for this character. With the accessories out of the way though, I'll say that this is probably one of the worst likeness for the faces. So bit of a downside there. Don't really think this looks too much like Brad Pitt. This is just a generic army guy. But there's something cool at the head, which I don't know if it's going to translate very well onto camera, being able to see it, but there's a little bit of printing on the neck of the minifigure head, which matches his scar from the movie. It's amazing to see that you can even print on such a small surface like that. So very skilled printing by Brickmania in this case, and is a nice detail to make this even more screen accurate. Moving past the head, we got all the details there. Move the arms up, you can see around. Looks like the knife is supposed to port in there, and putting it next to it, you can see it is very oversized. So bound to happen at a small scale like this. And he also has just some nice pockets going around. I do really like the wraparound on this belt. It is perfectly aligned, so great to see that. Looking at the back of the legs, it looks like there is the Brickmania logo again on the inside there. So more Easter eggs to go around. Boots on this one also have some great detailing with some buckles. And the color of the legs here make it a little bit harder to see that the tops of the feet aren't printed. I'll just move the legs quick. Let's see if there's anything inside. No, but more print bleeding around from the other sides. But I think the striping, coloring on these legs looks good. Nice brown for some dirtier khakis maybe, or whatever pants he was wearing in the movie. Very happy with these human Brickmania figures in my collection now. And we'll have to see what they do for the second part of the series. getting this one off the stand, let's go into the final verdict and the comparisons. I've gone on the record and said I'm not really a Lego military fan, but of course, when there is that bit of crossover between pop culture, movies, and military, I'll make some exceptions. These figures are going to look great next to other Tarantino characters that have been made by other companies. These ones are pad printed. And honestly, the level of detail is pretty consistent between the pad printed figures and the UV ones, where these aren't as overly detailed as certain Brickmania figures seem to be when I see them online. Standouts are going to be the accessories. I like the printing all over them. Worried long term about some of the printing. That is where the hands end up being, like on the gun here. Having it right on the handle seems a bit questionable since it's going to be covered and also might wear off over time. It's kind of nice to have two different highly printed, highly detailed custom bats by Brickmania. Both of them feature great printing, fun accessories to have. And it's kind of nice to expand the Brickmania collection a bit. It gives me more opportunity to show off other examples and comparisons and just the different capabilities that they have for printing, because this one's a little bit more simplified. And, you know, just some more action characters to go with them too, with Snake there. Didn't have another Tarantino figure for right now. I am going to be getting a torso and leg set from the Citizen Brick Bride from Kill Bill, so adding to the collection there is going to be nice. And pretty much all of the different Tarantino movies that I like, I have figures for now, but as people are putting out more, I'll definitely keep picking them up. If you want to see more custom Lego reviews or Lego content overall, check out all the videos on my channel. I've been Brick Ready Up, and I'll see you in the next video.